Yes, baganda bange mwebale ku joininga live broadcast eno. Nzize mangu nnyo ensonga eriwo mugimanyi bulungi. Abantu abasinga amawulire mwakategeera kati. Abamu agategedde kiro, abamu agategeera kodda, abanyampi of course kino mwe mwakiruka. I don't know. Mwena mugamanyi mu style yanjawula abagategedde kati abagategedde kiro abagategedde gategana na kubeerawo nti muganda waffe gigenda muwunyira. Naye nga abadde ba following update eno wabaddewo of course stories mpitirivu nnyo ez'enjawulo era nga abantu abamu tebamanyi kituufu kikiriwo naye nga ekituufu kiri nti muganda waffe ye obusajja bwamulidde kyekituufu obusajja bwamulidde mu njogera ennyangu kyenyinza okugamba era nga tumusabire kuba yona gyali yeetaaga saala naye nga sinaba kuyitira mu statement ya president waffe ne statement okuva DW Africa eyina article gyetadde about Fred Lumbuye and actually the status mwe bamukwatidde ngenda giyitamu kwegamba ocomparinge olabe gwe amawulire obukose obulidde ebintu bingi nti bamukoze kino bamukoze kiri ali wano ali wali nti ate wano taliwo nti ate wano wali naye nga the common denominator is our comrade is not in safe hands. In simple terms nga tuvudde gamba nti oba ki in simple terms is not in safe hands. That's what I can say. Is not in safe hands. So gundi eriwa ye ya DW kansokene ya president of avuddeyo n'agamba nti this morning we woke up to the news of the arrest of political activist Fred Lumbuye from Turkey. This news is of great concern to many Ugandans who support freedom both home and abroad. For now, we are working around the clock to establish the facts, and I am grateful to all those who are doing everything to support his case, including our diaspora leadership teams. Our leadership team at home has also engaged the Turkish embassy on the matter. We all must be very concerned about this development because, as we know, many Ugandans only feel safe to criticize the regime in Uganda from a safe distance in countries abroad. The governments of the world ought to protect the rights of political dissidents and exiles who have sought refuge in their countries. Sorry. Ugandans abroad ought to feel safe. Free Lumbuye, free Uganda. We are removing a dictator. Yeah, statement okuveri of President of about the matter. And actually very many people were asking for the presidency response on this matter. Bantu banji bavuddeyo era wakoledde post before this. Very many people were asking the president, hey Mr. President, at least make something, say something about this development. Eranga actually if I'm to visit the comment section on this very post, erogena kulabanga, you know, people are piling in their responses. Anyways, when a rotten regime lacks what to do, this is what it turns to. Imagine being arrested for speaking about the injustices and abuse of rule of law casted onto the citizens. This was a horrible, hulaboru for the whole country. The dictator is naked. Of course, but in all this that you've heard, that you've seen, that is happening to our comrade Fred Lumbuye, all I can say to you, teri kuzikiza. Teri kuzikiza. Ate era tuongere okumusabira, ate era tuongere okudemandinga for, you know, his safety, for his immediate release. You know, because fena tuchimanyi what the dictator can do. We've seen it before. We've seen very many people disappear to the point that, you know, they have never even surfaced again. The likes of John Bosco Chibalama. John Bosco Chibalama was a mobilizer for people power. Way back in 2019, he was illegally arrested. Let me just say he was kidnapped because that's what they did. In June in 2019, up to today, no single family member or friends know his whereabouts. Tewali n'omu yali azzeemu mulabako. So anything can be done to Fred Lumbuye, if at all he's in the hands of this ruthless dictator. So tubadde tukyali awo, of course, ne DWTV nayo nevaayo ne statement about the same. DWTV ezene nkuba ate iyo ndala kuba ye kujiddeyo ate why he was arrested, and this is where I want you guys to pay attention and listen very well, because DW Africa says actually it has tagged both Fred Lumbuye's photo and that of dictator Museveni. You see that guy there, he has misused this country for more than 35 years. There he is. So wotunulira ku post ya DW Africa yo EJH News ekyo ne kugamba nti Ugandan Turkey-based blogger and the government critic Fred Lumbuye has been placed under arrest at the Ugandan embassy in Turkey. You see, now this, remember DWTV said TV agenda okukola allegations. You know, it's not a platform that is going to make allegations. It's not a personal page. It's not an individual page. This is an international media platform that has offices in different countries across this planet. DW Africa, DW, you know, USA, whatever. Mujimanyi bulungi. So I believe to the point gye batuuse okuteeka amawulire ngagano ku Facebook platform yaabwe, I believe this is authentic and they have first verified this kind of breaking news. So yegamba nti Fred Lumbuye bamutadde under arrest ku Ugandan embassy mu Turkey. You know, kugambye nti bamutadde under arrest ku Ugandan embassy mu Turkey. Eranga DWTV continues to say the Foreign Affairs Ministry in Ankara said this morning that the Ugandan embassy in Ankara has not yet received an official reaction from the relevant law enforcement institutions of Turkey regarding Lumbuye's case. About responsible, the law enforcing agencies or institutions, the likes of the police, the likes of the Interpol, and of course the law enforcement institutions, you know, those that are responsible to enforce the law. Of course, the police cannot miss on that list. The Interpol, of course, cannot miss. All people that enforce law in that bracket, they have not yet made any response on this matter. I mean, those from Turkey. That's what DW Africa is saying. That, however, the Foreign Affairs Ministry in Ankara said this morning that the Ugandan embassy in Ankara has not yet received an official reaction from the relevant law enforcement institutions of Turkey regarding Lumbuye's case. Okay, yes, that the Ugandan embassy bana abatake tebannaba kufuna abatake tebannaba ba law enforcement batake tebannaba ku informinga oba tebannaba kusindikira anything about Lumbuye's case ku Ugandan embassy. Into Ugandan embassy tenabakola ki, tenaba ku receiving any official reaction, tebannaba ku reactinga. So neyongerayo ne kugamba nti, however, while addressing journalists at the Uganda Media Center in Kampala on Wednesday, Foreign Affairs State Minister Okello Oryem said that Lumbuye was not a special person and he should not expect to be treated exceptionally if he broke the law. So this is what DW is saying, you know, citing Oryem's words. Remember, Okello Oryem olwaleero abadde ayogerako eri bannamawulire about actually this matter, bamubuuziza era n'agamba nti nga wano DW egambye nti while addressing journalists at the Uganda Media Center in Kampala on Wednesday, Foreign Affairs State Minister Okello Oryem said that Lumbuye was not a special person and should not expect to be treated exceptionally if he broke the law. Now, they were circulating, very many people, of course, interpreted this differently, because I saw some media platforms reporting that Oryem has confirmed that they have Lumbuye. I think that's not what Oryem said. Oryem yagambye nti nno Lumbuye wabanga yazizza omusango tali waggulu w'amateeka si muntu wanjawulo era tasuubira kubeera nti agenda kubeera bamukwata mu ngeri y'enjawulo. That was Oryem's words. He did not say that they have Lumbuye, as most media platforms reported, citing Okelozi or Oryem's words. Oryem said that Lumbuye was not a special person and should not expect to be treated exceptionally if he broke the law. What does that mean? It means that even Oryem is not sure whether Lumbuye was arrested by themselves. Maybe he was kept out of the loop. Anyway, DW continues to say that Lumbuye's colleagues said that he was arrested at the Ugandan embassy as he tried to renew his passport. Now, how wali ekinyusi? Wewali ekinyusaawo nti bakwano ba Lumbuye bagambye nti bamukwatidde ku embassy ya Uganda bwe yabadde agezaako okuzza passport ye obupya. I think that is what had not yet, brought into the public eye. Nti abantu abamu badde tebandaba kukifunako kino basose kiwulira kuva ku DW Africa. Nti Lumbuye ekyamukwasizza era ekyamukwasizza ku Ugandan embassy nti yabadde agezaako ku renewing passport ye. Kyekugambye nti there were very many conflicting stories about this matter. Naye here comes DW Africa with this kind of narrative, of which nga bwe nkugambye nti DW, I don't think it can come up with its own cooked information to feed tens of millions of followers across the entire world, because these are platforms that have existed for long. They have researchers, they do research, and these are some of the platforms that have been following Ugandan politics. Why? Because of course Uganda deserves better, and they saw a force egenda okubeera ng'ereetawo enkyukakyuka ne bagigoberera eya Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert. So badde bagoberera nnyo politics wa Uganda, badde bagoberera Bobi Wine, badde bagoberera nnyo babale tebagoberera nnyo, bagoberera nnyo kuba tebanda bakulekeraawo to the point nti of course bahighlightinze n'ekyalumbuye kino. So I believe they have first basoose kukola research waabwe ne bamanya nti okay kyekibaddewo kiriwe kino bwe kiti ne balekwatwa amawulire. So I would say ngenda bakkiririzaamu for their credibility nti Lumbuye kyamukwasizza kubeera nti yadde agezaako ku renewing passport ye. Then wetuvaawo then tugende ku lwaki bamukutte. So our DW weyongera ne kugamba his detention comes just under a month after President Museveni on July 8th directed security operatives to track down Ugandans who use social media to spread allegedly false news after some users and bloggers announced that he had died. Nti okukwatibwa kwe kiddiridde nga 8 omwezi ogw'omusanvu Museveni we yalagira security operatives batrakinge era bakwate abana-Uganda abakozesa social media okuspreading amawulire ag'obulimba, era abamu ku bo abamu bikantino yakola ki nti yafa. So naye realistically speaking Lumbuye tabikangako Museveni nti yafa. Lumbuye talina muntu n'omu yali abisenga yafa. Omuntu yenna awo nange nsobola okusaba evidence kuba videos gye ziri ku YouTube, gye ziri ku Facebook, yenna asobola ogiprovidinga agireete, oba posts zonna gye ziri. Ekyo Lumbuye takikolangako. Ekikwasa Lumbuye abakuba ate alina following nene nnyo, govanga ku muntu atuuza omutwalo gw'abantu. Nze kambabuulire, media platform yonna yandyagadde okubeera nga weekola live oba weeteekayo amawulire ga ssaawa emu oba weeteekayo amawulire ga ssaawa 2 egenda kubeera n'omutwalo gw'abantu nga gulaba, egenda kubeera n'emitwalo gy'abantu 2 nga giraba, oba 15,000 oba 6 oba 7, naye tewali n'emu ekikola olw'ensonga ziri compromised, abantu bazibuuka. Fred Lumbuye yajja within just split seconds n'akulaga nti naatuuziza akanana k'abantu kali wali kagenda kuwuliriza byagenda kola ki, byagenda kwogera. Ekimukwasa ye information gy'abadde agaba ate ng'eri credible eviira ddala eri munda mu bo bennyini ne beekanga n'okwekanga ne beebuuza nti naye omusajja oyo information agijjeewa, omusajja oyo information agijjawa. Kuba kyali wange yangambako lumu nti man ekya Museveni okubeera nti bamubika nti yafa kyaba shockinga kuba mbona akasajja kaali kalwadde ebyaddala mbu, so kyaba shockinga era kwe kuactivatinga button eno yokkanga mbaani ba bloggers. They used not to take bloggers seriously until people power came in, until Bobi Wine came into the political race. As in, gwembulirayo ba bloggers ab'amaanyi before nga olaba social media bweri taking social bloggers seriously paka people power weyajja kuba kati abaana bangi ba bloggers bangi nobona akwata Lumbuye abaana gye bali bayitirivu nnyo tosobola bamalayo ate okola otya ogenda kukwata abaana Uganda bonna tosobola. Ekikulu ekiriwo kwe kwadressinga lwaki abantu nga ba Lumbuye bayogera ebigambo ebyo. The issue is just one: dictatorship mu Uganda, overstaying in power. Overstaying in power wouldn't have been bad if you guys were serving the interests of the people, but you are serving the interests of your own self. So agawalai okumanya nti no, this is very serious. Let me actually read for you some of the responses from the people, because DWTV just made this DW Africa just made this article about this update 2 hours ago, and this is what the people are saying, because DW asked, what do you make of this? And this is what some of these guys are saying. I want you to read this. Let me hope Masaba Faustina mwena mumanyi yakugambye nti Frederick Kajubi known political activist for Uganda and resident of Turkey who advocates for democracy, freedom and rule of law was kidnapped in Turkey by unknown people. Okay, let me go on. Someone is saying, these are very worrying developments for Fred and his family. The brutal regime in Kampala has always been waiting for his moment. This guy will never receive justice if flown back to Kampala. The minute he is forced onto that flight back to Kampala is more or less him being dead. Fred is not safe in Uganda. And this is James. And actually is very right, 100%. The moment ubakomezao Fred Lumbuye wano mu Uganda, abatagenda kubeera safe n'omululi n'oguba kuba already tali safe. James is saying the guy will never receive justice if flown back to Kampala. And that's the fact. That is the fact. He will never receive justice. How many people have you seen receiving justice? We've lost countless people in stupid things. Police running over them, police shooting them dead, police shooting, police shot Danny Chene dead. Last time I gave you a flashback on our Facebook page how Danny Chene was shot by a police officer. There is a video, but no one was arrested. A police truck chased and ran over Rita Nabukenya. Owekika kubanze ndi Muwonge tudilangabi. Police ya mutomera nemutta olwokuba yali ayambadde overall. Yali ayambadde actually was it a t-shirt. Paka kati tewali n'omugoba ali bawadde justice. Sweet Pips abasajja bamukuba emigo Bobi Wine wakoma okuva US. Bamukuba omutwe ne bagwasa ne wayitayo emyezi mitono nnyo omusajja watu n'afa. Yasini Kawuma bamukuba amasasi bamanyiddwa aba SFC. Tewali n'omu yali afunja. So wekidda ku Fred Lumbuye ate ekyo kigenda kuba kikeera bamuziriza mu Uganda. So we need to keep putting more pressure such that tebamukomyawo wano mu Uganda. Kuba bamukomezaawe bati oyo mubalanga mufu, because you've seen it with your own eyes. Someone is saying Mr. Museveni's 40-year-old regime's mishandling of the COVID-19 pandemic is about to suffer more negative international publicity over the kidnap of blogger journalist Lumbuye. I believe the Ugandans in the diaspora are going to make it extremely difficult for him to keep the blogger in detention in Turkey, leave alone extraditing him back to Ugandan security torture chambers. Then Matovu Elijah is saying, not only does he own Uganda, he owns the world. The Ugandans have suffered. The Uganda's old heartless president, I think we the African youths needed to team up and deal with him lawfully. If he thinks he's above criticism, wait a minute. If he thinks he's above criticism, he should just resign and vacate the presidency for a tolerance person to take over. What kind of an autocrat? What kind of autocratic attitude is this? This is, I believe, this is not a Ugandan. He's saying, yeah, he's a South African because I can see his Cape Town. Yeah, gambi nti ono dictator. Chisa nafa wafiri kake nyine tukola chi ne tutiminga up ne tumwekolerako. And that is it. We need to unite actually against the dictatorship in Africa, because we have dictators across this continent, and guess what? They are all in the same WhatsApp group. They give each other tricks of how to oppress their people. That's why chola bawano ojachira ba mu Cameroon ochirabe ne mu sendale zinu ba dictators. Unless we come up and we team up as Africans nga kwadizo bwagambye, that's when we shall get rid of this. That is as well a good suggestion out there. Then Fisher is saying it will be very poor for Turkish government to allow Fred Lumbuye to be repatriated. They know fully well that the country is being ruled by the dictator. Ugandans have no freedom of speech. A man who keep jailing his opponent readers. Okay, that is the same as the other. Let me see any other comment different from. It's very unfortunate that in Africa, anyone with the dissenting views, you are killed or kidnapped and tortured. I only implore the Turkish government not to fall victim again, like in the Khashoggi case, which ajukira Khashoggi goba sala face. Trillions of Ugandan shillings are being swindled by the Museveni family and in-laws and friends meant for COVID, as people are not even given 0%, as people are not even 0.1% and not vaccinated all the time under lockdown. Okay, yeah, basically Alex Watasa, yeah, he's talking about the Khashoggi case. Journalist yatiwa mu Mutake. Of course, you're creating a president ebinyo kutake kati ngalinga government teyandikiriza ekyalumbuye kino kiberewo, artist ye eberenga case egendo bari vampinga oba artist ebakolereko kulinya eddungi kuba eya Khashoggi yabakolera linya lyali binyonyo. Let me see someone else here. Basically, you can see all the comments. Sigenda zisoma zona zimalayo. Naye comments oziraba nga tewali name eri in support. I've not seen any comment in support, and there are thousands of comments on this post. What does it communicate? Of course, it's communicating anti abantu bako wadda. Let me see something else here. Let me see. I believe that is that. Tewali kirala kyamanyi okujjako ekirala. Honorable Zake olwaleero ndabya postinzeyo ku Facebook page n'agamba nti Kamale okunoonyako wano gundi ye agamba nti agenda flying to Turkey. I believe Kamale okulaba Honorable Zake. Honorable Zanke Butebi. Where are you? see Honorable Zake. Yeah, this is the post from Honorable Zake. Agambye flying to Turkey tonight. Yeah, there he is. And kuba kati agawalayi kutaasa bulamu bwa buli muna Uganda yonajala, especially nga agattako kuba Fred, yes, I know waliwo batamwagala, waliwo n'abamwagala, ninga the fact of the matter, ayina ettafaali lyabadde naye agatta ku struggle ate nga lyamaanyi nnyo kibula nga badde asobola okutuuza abantu omutwalo mulamba ne gumuwuliriza. Yes, waliwo mu byayogera nga toyagala biwulira, kati nga nze realistically speaking ebyakatikkira omulumba sibyagala, era nja kubeera transparent mugambe naye ate ebirala byayogerako ebyokuba Museveni ebyokukola biki, I like that and there is a way he does it splendidly. Nolabira ddala nga kibula nga abatadde ku bunkenke to the point nti babadde bayina okumukwata. Negwe kyolina okumanya obadde obuusabuusa comrade waffe ye bamukutte. Abadde bagamba nti binza okuba byakiyaye, maybe yekutte. Omanya obwedda abantu balina conflicting stories around this case. Nti yinza okuba kati comments zinazisomere mu kafunda agamba lengera obakola ki. Fact of the matter, DW Africa evuddeyo ne final statement. Nkugambye DW Africa si platform egenda okukola allegations, nedda. Egenda kuvaayo ekubulira ekintu nga bwe kiri. Ekugambye nti bamukwatidde ku Ugandan embassy nga agenze ku renewing passport ye. So my question is an embassy a prison? Is an embassy a prison? Imagine you are going to seek help from an embassy and then all of a sudden you get arrested. So basically that is it. Chali waffe bamukutte, tumusabire ate twongere oba omwagala oba tomwagala gwe kyolina okumanya obanga bamuzizze Uganda wano agawalayo mubalenga mufu. So what we can do is to continue putting more pressure such that bamulilizinga unconditionally. That's what we can do. That's the best we can do for him. Nga bwayiyeewo mubiri from the very start, ebintu n'abyogeranga we birina okubeera, ne bamutiisatiisa ne bamugamba nti no tugenda kukwata tukuzze wano tugenda kukola naye n'asigala nga akyakikuba boy nga bw'akikoze bw'atyo naawe bw'okikola nga demanding for his immediate release. Kuba bamuleetera wano mukimanya ekigenda okuddako. Man, you know what I'm talking about. Azibudde amaaso abantu bangi, sijja kulimba nyina bakyali bange ya politics tebabigenda nnyo, naye nga akugamba nti wabulidde Lumbuye kye yagambye n'ogamba nti nedda sooka ombuulire yagambye eki n'alukuteerako. You know, ebyo byagamba abantu tunofuna peni n'olupapula. Abantu badde bawandiika ebyaddala ddala nga tebaagala kwerabira. That is the fact. Kubanga osanga omuntu n'akugamba nti gwe Lumbuye tewamuwulidde. Yagambye nti no lwaboogo be bali mu lukwe lw'okutta Katumba, n'akukubira ne audio n'ogiwulira. Okitegeera, n'akukubira ne audio n'ogiwulira nga si bigambo bye, ne ka video n'akakuteerayo bwe paba n'okafuna. Gwe n'okola ki? N'okola analysis eyiyo. So buli muntu of course mu struggle eno buli muntu aplayinze part, era buli muntu aplayinga part yenjawulo. Engeri Fred yakikubamu si engeri omuntu omulala gyagenda okikubamu, ate si engeri omulala gyagenda okikubamu. Ffenna tujja kikuba mu ngeri yanjawulo. Naye at the end of the day wobigattagatta, I always tell you guys that each one of us must do whatever little they can do, because at the end of the day it's all those small dots that keep adding. Wokola kyokoze n'olinakola kyakoze n'olinakola kyakoze, at the end of the day wobigattika boti byonna ebintu bikola ekyamakulu. So these are the efforts we need at such a time when one of us has been attacked. I always say an attack on one of us is an attack on all of us. So let us show solidarity twebereremu. Patricia Sewungu ne wamu ne banne bagenda kola protest. Actually, let me first give you that update as well. Yeah, permission has been secured to protest for our comrade's safety. That is Fred Lumbuye. Please take tomorrow off. Kino tekisobola kulinda. It's an emergency. Yes, that's what Kabasita Margaret copied from Patricia's page, and those are the news. Patricia never bali mu UK olunaku lw'enkya babasabye mu taking off to protesting against the illegal detention of our comrade Fred Lumbuye. Carry any information regarding Lumbuye bwati babasabye tomorrow. Abali mu UK ndoza mukitegedde bulungi. Nammwe abali eyo mu bitundu ebyenjawulo nga you can do anything. Abasobola okukubira Turkish Embassy, Uganda Embassy simu owedda lives ezenjawulo muzira ku pages zaffe ezenjawulo enamba kweziri tubateeke ku pressure. That's what we can do for our brother. That's what we can do for him. That's what we can do for him. Woba omwagala ng'abadde akusanyula era ng'okyamwagala, then this is the time you do something for him. Gwe kyolina okumanya bwe bamukwatirako ne bamuleeta wano e Uganda, manya ebibye biba biwedde mubale nga mufu. Webanga omwagala, this is the time. So guys, that is that. Kyekyo kyembadde nzo bagamba obwedda ababuusabuusa ndowooza you've got it well. Kyali waffe bamukute ng'agenda ku renewing a passport. That's what DW is saying. Unless nga muyina ekibuuzo kye mubuuza ekirala kyonna osobola oteekawo mu comments oba osobola oteeka mu comment section. Osobola oteeka mu comment section. Comment yo nsobola ogisoma bwe mba nga nsobola okubaako nekyenkuddamu regarding this matter. I can do it. Oba I don't know whether nteekewo essimu mukubeko. I don't know. Suggest and I see in the comment section. Kamya Ben yobuuza nti is there hope to Fred be back. Of course, there is. That's if and only if I will put more pressure for them to release him. Just like we've done to very many of our comrades. Remember, if we did not put pressure, the likes of Eddie Mutwe, Nobian Lee, and the rest, singa bakyali mukomera. Singa twasirika busiris completely and to be mute about their arrest. Let me just put this example. Katinga ba arresting nga asatu njukira Eddie Mutwe bakwatanga asatu December 2020. Singa fenna twasirika completely ne watabirawo omuntu n'omu avaamu kagambo olowooza singa tebakyaliyo komera singa bakyaliyo ne twagana tugamba no, we are not the sitting type, we are not that type of people, because an attack on one of us is an attack on all of us. So we are not the sitting type. Kyetulina okukola nga bw'ogambye nti is there hope for him to be back? Yes, there is hope, if and only if we don't simply just look at it, we do something as in put pressure. Wenjogerera ku ssaawa eno wakyaliyo abasibe mu kkomera eruzira ne mu makomera ag'enjawulo abeekalakaasa ku mulembe gwa Besigye mu 2016-2011 mu 2009 ku Lwakabaka nga bamuganye okutambula okugenda mu masaza ag'enjawulo. There are some people who are still rotting in jail because of, during protests of those days. Why? Because the vibrant people by then maybe did not put more pressure, because it is always bloggers and of course political activists that always put pressure, government on pressure to do the right thing. Kibulanga waliyo waberawo opposition ate nga ffe tuli mu multi-party dispensation nja kwekanga nga political parties ez'enjawulo zandibadde zibeerako ne kyezikola okuforcinga government okubeera ng'ekola ekyo kyeba eyina okukola kwagwe mugaso gwazo. Nojja kwekanga nga kati we tuli ku ssaawa eno nza okwekanga oyinza okugamba nti oba it's like NUP yokayoka yeri in play nga tojja kulirayo political parties endala gagawala tojja ziwulira bwe bijja mu kuyamba abantu ojja kulaba NUP bokka nga beba mu kutambula okugaba emmere, nga be bali mu kuzimba amalwaliro nga Segirinya, be bali mu kuwamba abantu amazzi ag'obwereere nga ba Rosias Mukasa, nga be bali mu kukola ebintu eno weebuuza po bali abalala babeerawa. You understand? Because the reason as to why they do that, kuba tetulina government, ekyo kiri obvious, tetulina bana baliko batwesibako bwesi kibanga teba, all they need is to steal and steal. Kyokka bo kye bafaako kubba ttaka, kubba ssente, enriching and how to secure their longevity in power. So nga bwe nkugambye nti ffe ba activists n'abantu abalina Uganda at heart tebalina okuteeka pressure government okukola ekyo kye balina okukola. So yes, there is hope, if and only if we don't simply just look at things. Okay guys, Kamala tokwasaganya bino ebirala naye nga point eri nti according to DW Africa kigambibwa nti muganda ffe Comrade Lumbuye Fred bamukwatidde ku Ugandan Embassy. So far that is it. Alright, twongere musabira era twongere okumubeereramu. Bye bye for now.